And Will is coming out with a big smile on his face, like he's not worried about nothing, because he knows that all of this stuff is going to disappear. Pure survival. Ain't no way that I'm going to be smiling, I'm going to be laughing if I know that all of this stuff is out there. The only way I'm going to be smiling like this is if I know that I'm going to be able to silence these people, that these people is not going to be able to get their word out. We have different ways to silence people. And look at the people that's surrounding Will. These are some big time motherfuckers.
The Epstein files reveal the largest genocide in human history, and it is being hidden from your eyes. 8 million children go missing every single year. Look at all these people with black eyes. Politicians, your famous actors, the Pope, high-level people. They all participate.
They said Jay-Z was my dad. They said this situation.
Do you remember the guy who asked Epstein where the torture videos are? Well, they just fucking found him. His name is Ahmed bin Sayem, and he is the chief executive officer of Dubai.
We just found out that Dr. Mark Landon, the head of the OBGYN department at Ohio State Medical University, has been receiving payments from Jeffrey Epstein for years. And you automatically know what the he was doing for Epstein. He was delivering babies that nobody wanted. He was getting rid of babies, and he's treating STIs. That's what he's doing.
So it looks like Jada and Will Smith are way deeper in this Hollywood network that is currently getting exposed, and their former assistant, Bilal, is finally putting it all on blast. What's even crazier is that as I speak to you, Bilal is currently in a nasty lawsuit with Jada after she supposedly threatened his life. But get this, just days after he filed his lawsuit, he was allegedly involved in an accident all the way in Colombia. Mind you, the whole reason he was even in Colombia in the first place was that he was afraid that someone would come to take his life. But now that the Epstein files have been released and people's eyes have been opened to what is really going on, Bilal is back again to spill more tea because he knows folks are more likely to listen to him now. Now, when it comes to the exact details of the lawsuit he filed against Jada, he claims Jada confronted him at Will's birthday party on September 25, 2021, held at the Regency Calabasas Common, and straight up told him that if he didn't stop running his mouth, she was allegedly going to have one of her goons take him. While in the lobby, Jada Pinkett Smith approached plaintiff with approximately 7 members of her entourage, became verbally aggressive, and threatened plaintiff by stating that if he continued telling her personal business, he would end up missing or catch a bullet, and demanded he sign a non-disclosure agreement or else. Now mind you, at the time she did this, Bilal hadn't even started doing interviews about her and Will, but from the looks of it, he was talking about them behind the scenes and word got back to her about it. But instead of him folding under pressure, guess what this man did? He appeared in an interview with Tasha K and started his long streak of interviews in which he revealed never-before-heard details about Jada and Will. He said one time when he was still Will's assistant, he literally walked in on Will going to Pound Town by Dwayne Martin.
I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Murder, like murder. It was murder in there.
And as you can imagine, Jada wasn't having it when she found out that Bilal had gone from telling folks behind the scenes about her business to now going on the internet. She allegedly pulled strings to silence Bilal by threatening to sue him for defamation and even accusing him of trying to extort her. But just like the first threat, this only made Bilal double down. He showed up for another interview with Tasha K and sent a warning to Jada that if she didn't go through with the defamation lawsuit, he would come back to Tasha K for a part 3 and really go in. And guess what? That's exactly what he did. Jada failed to file that defamation lawsuit, so he did part 3 of his interview with Tasha and said some of the wildest things you'll ever hear. He exposed Will and Jada's Mentorship network, where up-and-coming rappers and actors were used by old men and pass around. And Bilal says he has evidence that they forced Bryshere Gray into all of this, which eventually led to him getting hooked on substances and becoming a Twitter corn star. According to Bilal, Will and Diddy were running a fake mentorship program for men in the industry, and that's how they got Bryshere in their trap. Now, just for a little bit of context on this supposed mentorship, it all goes back to Brashear's days on Empire, when his mother Andrea and his former manager Charlie Mack decided to throw him into Will and Diddy's camp for a mentorship program. At the time, Brashear was still making a big name for himself on Empire, so the timing was just right.
He's with my man Charlie Mack, so Charlie was with me every step of the way. First out the limo, so Charlie has been with me, 30 years coming up in the business. So, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love. And all he has to do is add discipline, and he gonna be all right.
It's like Uncle Will, who is best to give you advice? And it's Will Smith, and I'm getting so much good advice. I got my first acting role, Empire, and it's changing my life. And it's like, I'm listening from the greatest, and it's like making me well prepared to work with Taraji and Terrence Howard,
But according to the claims Bilal made on Tasha K's show, it seems like the mentorship was just a cover-up for something more sinister. And if you've heard about the Epstein files and Diddy's infamous parties, then you know that this seems to be a recurring theme with these Hollywood executives. Bilal revealed that one time when he was in Chicago with Brashear, he broke down and confessed to him that Diddy and Will had been bending him over in freak-offs. Bilal also alleged that Jada has all the tapes of these freak-offs, including the ones Tyrese supposedly did with Will.
I said, what the F is wrong with you? And he was like, you know. He said, Will me. Diddy made me suck his penis. You know what's going on. Charlie made me suck. And I said, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So he crying, no blood is coming from his nose. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Who else did you see allegedly on the tapes?
Tyrese with Will and Jada. Then the one with Charlie Mack and Will. Jada's not on it, but you can hear her say, make him spit up, period. So when these tapes come out, people will know I'm telling the absolute truth.
Now, folks were quick to believe Bilal for multiple reasons. One was the fact that he had Jada so pressed that she allegedly threatened his life instead of going to the police. The second reason was that even when she went to the police, she didn't actually follow through with the defamation lawsuit. I mean, if you're so innocent and the person you're claiming is defaming you is really telling lies, why just not slap him with a lawsuit that will shut him up? Unless, of course, he's not lying, and you're scared that your lawsuit might lead to further investigation into the things he accused you of. I'm just saying. Not only that, even before Bilal, Jaguar Wright had also alleged similar things in multiple interviews. And we all know Jaguar is one of the most trusted whistleblowers, so the chances of her randomly naming these up are little to zero. Jaguar Wright even went as far as saying that there was a time when Will's neighbor allegedly called the police to make a report against him and Jada because two men who were later identified as Brashear and Meek were seen running out of Will's house yelling for help after an alleged session went wrong, the same ones that Bilal claims Jada has the tapes of. Jaguar also hinted at Will possibly doing the same thing to his son Jaden. According to her, this is probably why Jaden chose to leave the house.
They're both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bashir Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Have collectively, including Will Smith. Let's not leave him out. Why your son hates you? Why does your son hate you? What did you do to Jade?
But she didn't stop there. After Bilal made his allegations against Jada, Jaguar Wright stepped in again to allege that there is a secret tape of Justin Bieber, Will, Jaden, Diddy, and Brashear freaking out together, all sweaty and high as a kite.
They trying to slay him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exist.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
all that talent, and they and she let Charlie tune that boy up on coke, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a Philly whore. You're a whore. You're a bigger whore than they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry. The Bashir conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Bilal and I asked Bilal to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his fucking book.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Don't nobody care about these kids. Don't nobody care about these kids.
Jada Smith was beefing with his mother and wanted to move out because Jada allegedly was blowing Tyler, the Creator's back out. So when Jada went public talking about Tyler, the Creator, that's my boyfriend. Look, he's right there in the crowd. That's my boyfriend. He was really trying to show his mother up. He was really trying to show up Jada. And you remember, Bilal said that Jada Pinkett was smashing Jaden's friends and boyfriends, not just August Alsina.
And at this point, I feel like August Alsina was also a victim of this supposed mentorship. Because do y'all remember August was going through a lot? And it is around this time Jada found him and brought him in for some spiritual guidance.
We all want family. That's what we've been taught. We've been taught to, we live, we grow, we create a family. I mean, that's what you do. You be with your family. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a void out here for a lot of people. I know for me, I feel a void in my life because I can't get down with my family like that.
And now with the Epstein files out and just revealing the extent to which these people were getting their freak on is putting everything into place. Allegedly, Jada was the bigger mastermind of this mentorship. Since her career didn't really took off, this is how she could feel power and keep making money. But here's where things get even crazier. Remember what I said earlier about Bilal filing a lawsuit against Jada for the threats he claims she made on his life? Well, it looks like while he was fighting her in court, he also took matters into his own hands to protect himself. Because right after his last interview with Tasha, he jumped on the next flight to Colombia to lay low for a while. But baby, not even Colombia was enough to save him. Within just days of him being there, he ended up in a car accident that had him in a coma for weeks and even battling pneumonia.
But it doesn't sound like he believes it was that. You know what I mean? Like he said, after the car accident, the most serious car accident, and the car flipped 6 times, he wakes up in the hospital, you know what I'm saying, buck naked, in a gown, buck ass naked, you know what I mean? And when he finally woke up, and it could have been weeks later, that they told him, you know what I mean, at least a week and a half later, it had to be, but they told him that he had pneumonia. So, and he said he don't believe none of this, you know? And I'm like, man, this is just, it's just so much chaos. And but he said, Jamil, I want to interview with you because he's still worried about how his location got out there. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to sit here and let y'all blame Tasha K or blame Tasha K's finger waves. I'm not going to let y'all do that because we don't know that. He never said Tasha K gave his location up, pure survival. He never said that Tasha K's finger waves gave up his location. He just said, I don't know. It was very creepy and mysterious how these people was able to track me down. And now ICE is trying to deport me, saying that I allegedly committed a crime in Colombia. You know what I mean? And he said that if you look it up, you can see that Will Smith and Jada has ties with Donald Trump, and they have ties with Donald Trump's clip-on toupee. So he believes that allegedly they was involved with that. You know what I'm saying? That they paid Donald Trump's toupee a check, You know what I mean? To help silence Bilal.
This is what people are saying, and if Bilal ends up dying, folks are definitely gonna make sure Will and Diddy never hear the end of it. And mind you, when Will got asked about the allegations against him recently, he gave this creepy smile like it was something he already handled. I don't know, y'all, but something sinister is happening here. And if Bilal's family doesn't protect him properly, he really might not survive this.
How do you respond to the allegations that you bruised Brian Joseph's penis?
Come on, man.
Is it really funny? Yeah? Why did you fire him?
And when these people are confronting Will, why is Will laughing when they're asking him about these allegations? Now I'm very in fear for the violinist, and now I'm very in fear for Bashir. Shout out to my baby coming in the building and everybody in the building. Yes, I am very serious. This is what the sister is stating, but she doesn't believe it. Neither do I. Pure survival. How the hell did he go from going to the hospital to pneumonia? Now y'all trying to say that he's brain dead, so she can't talk to him. Nobody can find out. Yo, listen, we got a ban. We got a ban. Listen, look how Will Smith reacted when they asked him, and then he's surrounded by these big-time, rich, white bodyguard dudes telling people, look, don't ask him no questions. Will is smiling and laughing.
And with the release of these Epstein files, it's bringing people's attention to these things more. No wonder all these celebrities are running to other countries all of a sudden and buying properties abroad. Folks are even saying Jada and Will bought a house outside the country too, and they'll allegedly be moving there once things start getting a little too heated. One person said, these Hollyweird handlers and deleters need no one to snitch a location because it's so many of them. Another person said, this is out of hand. We all know they are after him and others. Hey, all the world knows, so there is no stopping the truth. Why be so scared of your truth? Oh yeah, y'all hurt all these people. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Bilal warning Jada to run? And do you really think Jada and Will are going to be incriminated by the end of all this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch his other very messy video.